Bangalore devotees, Annapurnima, are we ready? Ramnima, Bangalore. I think the Skype, a few more people are yet to join, so just we are waiting for them before we start. Singapore. Not, yes, we are waiting for a few minutes. Nithyanandam, Singapore. Ma Durga. Are we ready to go? Skype, they are ready? Yeah, please hold on. Many cities are logging in two-way, so we're just waiting for everybody to log in. Please hold on. Thank you. Nithyanandam. Nithyananda, the problem was good. There was too many people wanting to join, so it's very beautiful. And we can share with more people in the world how Gurukul is being taken care by Swamiji. The same space is going to be shared with you all today. So the first thing Madhvit want to, for all the newcomers, Madhvit want to explain what exactly we are talking about in eNParenting session. Basically, we understand the world of adults. The adults' world is what we live in. The children's world, the world of the child, is completely different. The way they think, the way they process the information, the way they understand, and the way they communicate. All this step by step they learn in a very different way. The baby when it comes to the planet Earth, they start understanding the whole process in a very beautiful way, very curious, and non-stop learning happens in them. Non-stop they are able to be in the process of learning and cognizing. Cognizing is receiving the information, processing the information, then communicating the information. So they are able to do it in a very different way from the adult space. The adult space is where we communicate, we understand things. So past 1.5 years, we've been communicating how the children world is and how the adult world is. The world is so different from us, and once we understand their space, we are able to connect to them in a very beautiful way. So the relation becomes very beautiful between the parents and the child. The connection becomes like conflict, and when the child is able to connect to parents completely, they are able to perform extraordinary because they don't have the fear nor the greed. They have the right understanding and they are able to expand much more beautifully. So it's very important for us to connect to the where the child exists. The more we understand them, the teenage will be very smooth. Otherwise, what happens, the teenage, it gets more aggressive and it becomes very difficult for us to communicate, get things through, make them understand and make intelligent space. So right now, we've been explaining child is. What do we mean by child space? Why do we need to understand a child? Everybody just grows up, all were children, and we just grow up. So what is this something new that we need to understand when it comes to children? But it is that if we understand, the children also expand so beautifully and the parents are able to bring in more possibility in the child. So they are able to raise the children. Nowadays parents give them fear or greed. So they bring down the children. They are only driven by these things. But they are not driven by no inspiration. They are not driven by passion. It's a very rare we get to meet such children. So today we are going to explain to you what is the space of a child, how they function, what do they understand in their world, what is the context, how does world occur to them. First we are going to explain that, and then we are going to give you day-to-day problems, like from getting them to school, to doing the homework and making them understand, to help us through and also getting them to achieve higher possibilities. So all this we are going to talk about today. Mainly we took up the topic, the stubbornness. The parents' first thing they find in a children is, my child is very stubborn, if he decides, he decides. So what do we understand by the stubbornness? Most of us in children is like a tantrum. It is a huge issue for them. But actually stubborn kids are amazing kids. Stubborn kids are very beautiful and they're able to expand really beautiful. They are going to be a high achiever. They're going to make anything as impossible as a possibility. They're going to have clarity in life. They're going to have the right context in life. So these things happen for children who are very stubborn in what they want. If the stability is not there, obviously the mind is going to waver and they are not able to stick to one space. These stubborn children are the most authentic beings. Because we are very clear. If you're so sure, I know the one which is up on the top is a fan. You're so sure. So nobody can change your view on that. No, it's not stubbornness, your clarity on it. Like that, the children who are stubborn are highly having the clarity because of the authentic space. But they are not still ready to put it in words. Children always struggle with words because they are more dealing with the space. They only see, oh, this space is so nice, let me enjoy it. They don't have the clarity of putting it in words so much. So what happens is when we push these children, they don't want to do something, it becomes a tantrum. But if the child is guided, the stubborn children are guided, there'll be the amazing possibility. They'll come out with the flying colors that anything could be possible. I'm not even talking about them studying well, but much beyond. No world record, breaking world record. They're able to do high achievers. They become leaders of the world. So it's an amazing possibility which exists in the children when they become very authentic. No, it is not something like a talent. It is there in them. How does this stubbornness first starts? Most of the children are stubborn. They, whatever they want, they cry, 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 day in and day out. Like forever we feel like they're crying to get what they want. But the space they occupy is not to get what they want. They want to say, this is what I am. No, look at me. What? Listen to my space. Get to me. No, that's what they're asking. They're not like throwing a tantrum. If we just sit and listen to them, they'll simply be able to communicate what they really are holding on inside. Why do they want the toy? Why do they want to get the things from the shop? If you really listen to them, they have some extraordinary. The kid will be crying for so long, and finally you find out they want to give the gift to the mom. At the end of the day, it will be something so simple, but they would have cried for some toy, something, and I want the sketch pen. I want it right now. They'll throw a tantrum, they'll roll over in the shop and get the sketch pen and finally make the same card for the mom. They are in such a beautiful space. They don't know negativity. The small children don't have any negativity in them. But they are very stubborn about what they want in life because of the authenticity they have. Stubbornness in the right understanding is amazing. They're going to be the leaders of tomorrow. So we have to just align them to the possibility that of the right understanding. If we leave them to just be throwing tantrums, pushing them all the time, these stubborn children, what happens is they get into the negative cycle. They think world will only listen to them if they throw a tantrum. So that is what goes into their understanding. So the lifelong, it's a struggle they're going to go through. So it's very important we align them to the right understanding, not by fear or greed, but giving them the right understanding. Again and again, what happens is they don't give up on themselves, nor they give up on others. So they cry, or they throw a tantrum again and again. But what we need to understand here is, it's a beautiful thing they hold is they don't want to give up on themselves. Only a leader can be like that. We easily given 4 days, we'll get up for morning jogging. 5th day, we'll say, oh, this is too much, morning workout is too much. That's why we are not able to be the high achiever. But they are meticulously for everything, whether it is a toy or a food or a restaurant, they don't bother. They just want to get it. So that is the quality, the inside quality of this stubbornness is don't give up on others nor themselves. It's a beautiful space, and with the right understanding, if it is given, the context will be set. See, most often not, the first 7 years which we keep repeating. Some idea that we hold in our life and think that is perfect for us. And then for rest of the life, for 7 to 14, we started like experiment age. First 7 years, we kind of pick things. Okay, this works for me, this works for me, anger works for me, stubbornness works for me. We just pick few toys. And then after 7 to 14, we start experimenting with those toys. And then we see these toys work for me in life. Whenever I'm stubborn about something, everything happens in my space. So I should be stubborn. See, these willpower and all these ideas which come from this stubbornness. Some kids have a very good, they were with pain. They don't experience so much pain. They are very clear, body doesn't pain, but the fear is given to them, then they start experiencing pain. All this goes to the stubbornness only. The right understanding is given. They are so sure of themselves. That is the stubbornness which is what I'm talking about. So the context they set is so beautiful. But what happens to the patterns? If they start getting the patterns, first 7 years they pick up wrong pattern that this works for me. If I behave negatively, life responds to me. Then 7 to 14 they kind of experiment it. Then they say, oh, this works for me. Whenever I throw a tantrum about being stubborn about something, people start listening because I have to be very stubborn about it, that's all. And then it clicks for me. So once they understand that, then they're going to be in lifelong about wrong ideas they're going to be stubborn with. That becomes an identity, a pattern in us. We started living with the identity. The flexibility is lost, and then we are like, no, those people are very stubborn man, he doesn't respond to anything, he doesn't listen to anything. It gets into that mold. But the same thing with the right context, when given, when they are very small, the first few years of their life, 10 years, 14 years of their life, if you give the right understanding in life, the higher consciousness. What is the higher consciousness we are talking about is higher intelligence. What we need to do is the day in and the day out routine that we are going through with the children, making them align to whether it is making you happy. After all, what are we living for? Satisfaction and happiness. By throwing this tantrum, are you happy and satisfied? Or are you upset about the whole thing and creating problems for yourself, suffering for yourself? If they start understanding, the kids understand immediately. Oh my God, this, for example, I don't like bitter goat. I don't like lady's finger. I don't like apple, for example. I don't like apple. I don't want to eat. I'm very stubborn. Simply, if you talk to them, they just simply, even as old as a teenage boy, they start thinking, oh yeah, right? I don't understand why I started disliking this apple, but at some point I saw some worms on apple or something wrong with the apple, so from that day I don't want to eat. Then you just give them the right understanding. It was that apple. Why do we say every apple is a problem? Once we do a completion for them in that, and they break the wrong understanding about the stubbornness. I'm just giving an example how you can break the wrong understanding about being stubbornness. So once they have this apple, they understand this whole thing is only about their idea about the apple. Once they break that, all the ideas about stubbornness is also broken. So if the child is very stubborn, especially the easiest way to break them is the food pattern. Anything they hold against the food, actually they don't hold. They are very easy. Any child in engineers, the program that we conduct, the children come for the program, they're able to eat anything, especially when parents say they don't eat, they pick up first that and start eating. Because when we go through this workshop with them, it's amazing that they are able to see why I first started liking pink. No problem. It's not the pink I like. The dress which was in pink is what I liked because my mama wore a sari. She exactly, a 6-year-old kid says, because mama has a beautiful sari in pink, so I started taking the color pink and I'm very stubborn. Everything has to be pink for me. And she's very clear. So then I spoke to her, isn't blue beautiful on you? Isn't green beautiful? She said, oh yeah, I never tried it. And simply they start understanding. They don't hold anything very to the core like us. The whole thing is very flimsy for them, the ideas they carry. The stubbornness might be there for them, very concrete, the how to hold things. But as we talk about the understanding about these ideas, the component inside that, they can just drop it and go to right understanding. Stubbornness in the right angle. If they are able to focus on the right angle with the stubbornness, they'll be the leaders. Come on, everything you do in your life, Are you ready to see whether you're satisfied? Are you ready to see, are you fulfilled? Are you ready to take it up to the end like that? And the 6-year-old boy, Rishi, he was amazing. He said, Ma, I'm not going to cry, Madhvait. I'm very stubborn and I cry every time and I get upset only. I'm not going to cry. And so beautifully, he took it up, and he really, 21 days was this program, and he said he's not going to cry, not because he wants to control it, but with the right understanding, it makes me upset. So I'm not going to cry. I'm very clear, I'm going to be stubborn about being happy. So this is what we need to move the shift, the ideas of the kids being stubborn and throwing tantrum in the upsetting cycle, no, vicious cycle to virtuous cycle, where they become stubborn about the right ideas in life. When they have the right ideas in life, the context is set. Context of who we are, what we are, a clarity is come. Like for example, the nature, no, the tree, the beautiful trees, the breeze, the sun, the moon, everything is stubborn about themselves. They have the unique quality about themselves which they just present to the world. So that is what happens in the stubbornness. They know that they have the clarity in life because they are very authentic. What is authentic now? Authenticity is your peak performance. Every moment are you aligning to your peak performance. For example, a child thinks he's an astronaut. Every moment, is this going to make me happy, or is this moving me into the incompletion space? And doing this, I'm going to be incomplete for what I might be a leader. See, the more and more you start putting resistance with all the negative ideas and being stubborn, you are building a total wall between you and reality. That's what happens. Finally, we get caught being stubborn, holding these things, the walls, that thinking this is what our life is. So the whole intelligence is kind of blocked. No, it's like a covered one. Now, if we are understanding, if we are stubborn about, I want to be very sure, I am not going to hold on to these walls. And I'm going to see where I started building and drop one by one so that I have clarity in life and I have possibility in life. When will that happen? That will happen only if I have the stubbornness of being in the right path. Every time meticulously aligning me back to the space of I want to be happy. I don't want to suffer in life. I want to be satisfied. Is this aligning me to that? Is this activity putting me into the space of completion? Constantly, if you put the child into that space, the conscious being inside it, it will be celebrating. It will be so happy. It will be so joyful that what it is expressed. What it is inside is expressed outside, because I don't have a wall. I am who I am. I'm presenting as I am. So I feel so confident. I don't have to get scared. I don't have to get confused. Nothing. The context is very clear. Like, for example, the easiest example I say to the kids is, the sun god comes. He's very clear. Every day I'm going to shine and I'm very clear about it. I don't have a confusion and there's perfect understanding. And every day meticulously I'm going to come and I'm going to be the sun. So beautifully, higher intelligence. That's how the higher intelligence was formed. All the higher intelligence, meticulously, day in and day out, they are very clear who they are in the world. And they are very clear in the bigger context, who they are, and what they want to be as part of the whole. Once we understand the context in the big picture, we will be the most successful people. They will be the leaders of tomorrow. They will be the enlightened beings holding the space. We are talking about the higher consciousness. I'm not even talking about the topper in the school. I'm talking about something much more they can be achieving. The enlightened civilization which is coming up now. Swamiji is coaching the Gurukul kids. Gurukul is a school in Bidadi in Bangalore. We are actually starting more Gurukul in all the places. So it's a beautiful school where the kids are groomed with all the ideas, all the possibility of higher consciousness. Higher intelligence, it's just basic intelligence. So they have a possibility of becoming something beyond. And they are experiencing that also. They experience through not having pain. That's the simplest experience they have, but the most difficult for us. No, every now and then we have a leg pain, knee pain, especially sitting for so long, everything starts paining. So back pain, everything starts, right, for us. For kids, that zone is not there. We adults get into all this incompletion because of the grooming that we have been got into the first 14 years, especially first 7 years. A kid playing in the hot sun, very hot sun, will not find anything problem, but the same no adult who is able to, who are allowed to stand in the sun for like 2 hours, that's all. This is too much a torture. But the space of a child is, it's not a problem at all. Why? Because they don't even cognize it. Like that, they don't even cognize there is something called pain, and they don't experience pain. Like this, their intelligence is raised. Why the kids don't find it irritated, pushed, forced, pressured? These words don't exist in their space. They don't have, they are also in the world, the same world we are, and they are also achieving. It's not that they are not achieving. They are having multiple things to do. Nowadays, kids are like, no, one activity to next activity to next activity, and they have the school pressure. Like we have the peer pressure in office, they have the school pressure. They have everything, but they don't experience like the way we experience as a suffering. They experience in more of a words right now. Even as a teenager, they only experience as words. But if you really talk to them, it's too silly, they just drop it. I've spoken to so many kids who think like no peer pressure. But if I talk to them, it's actually not a peer pressure at all. Because everybody said it, they should do it. That's all. I tell them, okay, you are unique and you're so beautiful in what you're doing. And they say, oh, wow, that's a good way to look at it. The minute the uniqueness is given to the child, a new dimension of clarity begins. Because each child is like a flower. It's like a bouquet you add together and become a school. So it's such a beautiful space. A child isn't. They don't compare, they don't complain, they don't get irritated. It's the normal child. The adult behavior is what we teach them, is the irritation, tiredness, boredom, complaining, comparing. All this, they start getting into this incompletion is because where we live in, a child need not know all these things. And the more you give understanding to this, even if the friends talk about all this, they'll be very clear to tell. Why do you want to suffer? Drop all this, let's come, let's play. They'll simply be able to live in a beautiful space in spite of the society pushing them, pressurizing them, everything. When we give the right understanding to kid, we make them like a flower. A children is, Swamiji beautifully says, a child is like, no, you're a flower, you have to celebrate it. No, it's for a celebration. You don't use the flower for some tension thing, right? You celebrate it. Like that, they are like flowers. It's a beautiful space. You enjoy with the space. It's like, no, you are arranging a bouquet in the morning, how you'll feel. You'll feel so beautiful right inside you, right? Like that, when you wake up the child, you should feel like that. If you're not feeling, it's the incompletion that we hold inside. That we are pressured with lot of things. That is what we need to break. And instead of telling the child is very stubborn, they are not listening to me, they never listen, they throw a tantrum, and she makes a hell when she get up and to pack her to the school. It's just impossible. When she comes out of the school, she just throws her things. She doesn't take care of her things. She doesn't study properly. All this, the idea that we don't understand the higher intelligence. If you raise them to high intelligence, you'll also feel so comfortable and complete. They'll also feel so comfortable. The conversation between you and them will be a more and more connection. Otherwise, it will be like a rose plant full of thorns. It's wherever you hold, it's only poking you. Otherwise, it will be a rose plant without any thorns. Like the Gurukul garden, they have a garden in Gurukul where they talk to the plants, and just by connecting to the plants, all the thorns just fall off, and only the stem, it's like a soft, like a straw, so beautiful. When the Gurukul garden the rose plants are. Like that, it'll be such a wonderful experience for you. The morning, just you will be waiting for the kid to wake up and talk to you. Gurukul children, she used to tell me, Ma, I used to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning just to see the Gurukul kids on the other side, because I know they will come up with some new ideas that they share, which will make a completion in me. That is the space of a child. The minute you see them, like if the minute you see a beautiful rose, you'll say, wow, right? A big, beautiful rose. That's how you should have the feeling with the children. The whole idea we carry about children should change into understanding that they want to be authentic. They want to align themselves to the perfect context they are, not to the identity that we hold. No, we hold to the identity. I am a mom, I am a boss, I am a physiotherapist. We just catch up to the identity, but they are in more of a context. The context for them is blissful, happiness, satisfied. See the difference where we are and where they are. They are so beautiful and they're so lovely. So the minute you see them, you only should see the context. The identity, stubbornness is only to the context they set. They want to be blissful and happy. So then the clarity happens in the child when the mother, the father, the family holds for them. The family should hold the context for the child. So the clarity is given to them that they are unique and they are a possibility. If the mother says, hey, you can do anything, what you're talking about, you can do anything, simply child will be able to do anything in his life. What the parents hold the context for the child will be able to do anything. In Gurukul, Swamiji holds the highest possibility. No, he gives the highest possibility. Now they have been given that they are going to do a PhD. They are hardly 10th grade. 10 years, about 13 to 15 years they are. And he holds the context for PhD, the highest possibility. And they are able to now align to that, because the context is set and every thought is being aligned to the possibility. Beautifully they align and they become the possibility. And PhD in what? Aeronautical science and IT department to the perfection. They are going to write theses, the papers and all that to the highest possibility university, Oxford, Stanford University, and they are going to receive their PhD. I won't even say anything if they receive a Nobel Prize, because the possibility they are being put into, the space they are held is highest possibility. We are only thinking of getting them ready to the school and getting them a topper in a class and getting them admission in engineering college or medical college or IT industry, or these are the things which we think. But the context should be big picture, higher intelligence, satisfaction, blissful living. Once that is given, anything happens. They can be an engineer, they can be still a doctor, but much more. They probably can run even a hospital. Let's not shrink them to a thought of just being an IT engineer. But they can become a company, they can become Bill Gates, they can become Buddha. That is the context. So how does it happen? Now, first I explained the stubbornness. What is stubbornness we understand as an adult? What is stubbornness in children? The stubbornness in children has to be aligned to the right thinking. The stubbornness that we understand is a tantrum. It's not the tantrum, but the context which they hold is much deeper, where it is blissful and they don't want to give up on themselves nor others. So this is what first we defined. The context we live, stubbornness is like walls. I don't believe in this, I don't believe in that. This is what is life. This is how life is horrible. People don't listen. Society is horrible. Like all kind of negative cognition we club and we are stubborn about those things. But a child is so beautifully aligning themselves to the highest possibility. Now, if you give the right understanding, put their stubbornness into the right path, they are going to be higher consciousness. So the other thing we spoke about is the context versus identity. The context that we need to hold for them, that they build, is very important. Blissfully satisfied being that they need to be, versus the identity that we hold. I am very good in IT, I am very good in sports, I'm very good in music. No, identity is what we form. Those come out of patterns that we pick up in the first 7 years of a child, and then we experience reiterated the 7 to 14 years. And by 21, we are very sure I am IT engineer, I know everything, I'm very good at it. And especially they are smart, that's it. It becomes a big head. Big head is what? Big wall, thick walls between them and the reality. So we lose the beautiful space, the consciousness, intelligent space which exists. So that's what we spoke about, the context versus identity. And the clarity. The third point is the clarity that we need to have, the big picture, the holding higher space in the big picture, the context that we need to set for the children should be the higher possibility with clarity. Okay, we used to give example in Gurukul, sun god, moon god, breeze, wind god, fire god, all these have unique space in the planet, and all are aligned with each other. The one helps the other, and also they meticulously follow everything. Being that God, we used to give this example. It's the highest possibility that could be, right? That we can see in the planet Earth. Every day, day in and day out, it happens. It happens in perfection. It happens with synchronizing with everything. No, I'm talking about really sun god and moon god, all that. Everything happens in an aligned way. The whole nature aligns and meticulously it happens. There's no confusion and chaos which happens. Even though it looks like once a tornado comes or some earthquake comes, it looks like that for us, but everything is actually done in a most possible way that is best for the planet Earth. It doesn't hurt the planet Earth at all. It's so beautiful. Same way, the same thing inside us. Also, we can align to the best possibility and be so beautiful, unique flower that the minute anybody sees us, they say, wow, that's a nice person to meet. I really want to know what kind of a thinking, the brain chemistry she has, what kind of a understanding she has. So constantly that has to be given in the child. So now I'm getting into the next portion, how to make this happen in the child. Day in and day out, how a child functions in a day-to-day life, how they understand the daily routine, how they do lot of mistakes and mess ups and all that, and how we can align them to the best possibility. So the basic day-to-day, from brushing the teeth to taking their milk, breakfast, and getting them ready for the school, and taking them to school, the school activities in the school, the challenges in the school, the talent in the school, and now the creativity is really demanded out of them. So many things they need to bring out and bring up. The memorization, mainly the memorization, the communication, especially teenagers nowadays hardly communicate with the parents. Oh, hi mom, bye mom, that's it. Or they're getting into wrong understanding, wrong picture, wrong thinking, and they get literally, now the children are exposed to too many options. So they get easily spoiled unless we bring a right understanding in the first few years. After that, dealing with a teen is not an easy thing. A teen is very stubborn about wrong things also. And bringing them back is easy, very easy. After all, they're teenage, it's not so difficult. Only thing, the context has to be set correctly, and they have to be aligned to people where they have the right understanding. Because they are like no sponge. Wherever they are, they're going to absorb those things. A child is like a sponge, absorbing everything and then being very clear, this is what I am, and forming their identity. But if the context is set in the very young age, is this making you happy? Is this going to give you the success that you are looking for? What is success in your life? How do we define success? All this is given as a clarity to the child at a very young age. Then they will understand that life is a possibility, not something I have to crave for, that I have to fight for, or a suffering. Life is a possibility. No, miracles happen in my life continuously. That's life. Not as a suffering and fighting for things and it's not happening, getting frustrated. That's like an adult space where we all go through. For a child, it should be a beautiful possibility, gentle possibilities next to next. But how does this happen? How do we make the child back to where they belong? How do we hold a conscious parenting? No, how do we do a conscious parenting that the child will be held in a high space? For that, the day-to-day things. First thing, the parents have to be very authentic about what they want in the child. The parents are not authentic with the child where they want to hold the child, nothing is going to happen. So the parent has to hold a space very clearly. I want my child to be a beautiful, intelligent being, feeling complete and satisfied and happy. That's all I'm looking for. I am so sure every mom is vouching for that. Every mom wants at the end of the day the child is happy. My son is happy. That's all I bother. That's all we want. So let's align to that. Let's bring the context of that. So how do we do it? From brushing the teeth, how does brushing the teeth help in the reality? Everything, making them aligned, talking to them and giving them right understanding. How meticulously when you do everything, the higher possibility happens in your brain. For example, talk to him about the breathing. How does your breathing happen? You don't think, oh, I have to breathe 10 times a day, 5 times and repeatedly. No, we don't think like that. We don't say, oh, heart should function now. Heart better function, I'm going to sleep. We don't do that. Meticulously in our body, the whole thing is continuously happening. And we don't feel the pressure. There is no pressure, there is no pain, there is no suffering. Even though every moment we are doing it. No, if we ask us to do something every moment, that's all. We are like, oh, what? How do I think? Every moment I have to think about the moment. I have to be in the now. It doesn't happen. How does it become a non-mechanical part of us? There's a lot of brain intelligence in us to make even these things as non-mechanical. An intelligent space is available. So how do we teach the children to become again and again aligning them to the responsibility that they need to take from morning day-to-day routine? Whatever they do in day-to-day routine is what their life is going to be. Making them aligning. Are you doing at the best of the possibility brushing your teeth? Are you doing the best possibility taking the bath? Be here. Enjoy that. Bring your context again and again to this. This is what you came here for. No, higher intelligence. Now the miracles will start happening. If you are authentic to whatever you're doing, in everything you're doing, you're going to be very highly intelligent. As simple as that. So let's bring the higher intelligence by teaching them in the day-to-day activities, their homework, their class activities, the teachers, the way they perform in the classroom. Are you happy what you're doing? Just by chit-chatting and being just jovial and fooling around, or you want to achieve something in life. You have done that a lot. Let's try again and again making something happen in your life and see what happens. Like a game, play with them, and you becoming a partner with them and becoming totally authentic is going to make a difference. If you are not aligned and say, I don't have a problem, my son is like that, then difficult to bring him to the higher intelligence. If you want to bring them to a higher intelligence, first you have a commitment with them. Working with them, you also will become very happy and satisfied and amazing possibility. So let's align every day for every activity like a game. Okay, you correct me when I am not authentic, I correct you when you're not authentic. Let's play this game. Anything I take, I am going to bring the context of fulfillment and satisfaction. You're also going to bring the context. Okay, so did you brush your teeth with high awareness and did you enjoy brushing your teeth? Yes. Okay, now let's go to the next one. So like this, if you play with them, even the small things, aligning them to the highest possibility, you will make them the new conscious intelligence being that they can be. Because once the thinking, there's a lot of laziness in thinking. For example, yoga. See, for some time we don't bend our body, then the body doesn't bend. Because of the laziness, goes and sits in those areas and says, no, I don't want to push my body more than this. Oh, that is too much for me to do. And then you start just unwinding your body. The body also starts listening. Wow, I never thought I could do this. After like few years, your body is like so flexible. Same thing with the mind. There's little laziness sitting on your brain. So once you drop those laziness, your intelligence is going to be so sharp, so clear. Anything in life, you're going to make the best possible decision, whether it is wealth, whether it is relationship, whether it is a job, whether it is a no starting a company. Everything with a clarity you're going to do, and that's the best gift you can give your son or a daughter. The best understanding that they're going to have. They are not going to have incompletion. They are not going to have no suffering, sadness, disease, because they are very clear about their life. I am going to be complete space. This is the context my mom built me, my brain. So anything I do, I am going to make sure to the peak possibility I will do. I'll push myself to the peak performance that I can achieve out of that. Whatever they can achieve. I'm not saying they should be the best in like class first they should get. No. They can just do the best they can. That's enough. Are they satisfied doing? Are they feeling fulfilled? Because a kid knows very clearly when they messed up or they are very happy. When they messed up, actually the kid goes to another child and he's very angry, he will hit him. Okay, and who cries? Not the one who got the hit. Most often not the person who hit him. The person who hit starts crying. Because they're so authentic, they know hitting is going to bring suffering. So this kid will start crying. And that becomes as a fear. This is how the fear component of violence starts. So once we are understanding, why did you hit and hurt yourself? It is not worth it. And they simply understand, oh my God, she really caught me. So they start understanding it's they who suffer more than the other person. They're going to drop the violence. It's not going to give them anything. Because when you hit somebody, you are suffering because you're hurting your own self. It's your own reflection. Others are part of you. So we don't want to hurt anybody. That's why we are not so violent hurting anybody. So the kids also understand the same space. They are not brought up in a violent, of course, if you're giving the computer games that we have today, in today's world, it's going to cause a lot of damage to the brain that they're going to start understanding that violence is part of their life. If they have not seen the computer game or the violence movie and all that, they're going to be very beautiful. They will not hurt anybody, and verbally or mentally they're going to be very compassionate, and the compassionate returns to them. Whatever we project in life is what life is going to project on us. So the whole context that every day that you can set and making it a daily routine is going to be the end result of how meticulous and how this stubbornness can be aligned to the possibility. But doing that, it takes a lot of effort, but the results are extraordinary. The whole successful people in the world, this is what they have seen and they have understood as a child. When they were all children, they understood that these things work. They have seen their mother, father, and actually a mother works like that. No, we understand so beautifully how a mother works. I'm going to show you a video. I'm going to show you a video of how the whole meticulous happens in our life unconsciously. But now making it conscious and aligning and bringing to the context of the child, we are going to create a lot of success. So I'm just going to play a small clipping of how meticulous actually we are. And then from that you'll understand how beautifully we are already aligned. Now we have to align the children to that context. And then we'll start working every day with them so that we make this as a reality in them, setting a context of beautiful happening. So I'm just going to take a few minutes and connect the video, and then we will see the video. It's just a small clipping. And for people who are in VC, I'll just give the link. You can probably see the link. Just give me a few minutes and then we'll align to the video. Nithyanandam. Rishit. Nithyanandam, were you able to see the video? Just put your hands up, or still waiting for the video? Guadalupe? We are trying to play it again because some of them, I think, in video were not able to see in the webinar. So we are trying to play the video again. Thank you. Dr. Shantima, Bangalore Center, did you see the video? Okay, we are playing it again on two-way. Thank you. Next. Okay, while we wait, I thought we can do the workshop, the questions. So if you could take a paper and pen, that will be great. So these are the three questions I would like you to write, and that will bring a great understanding. So the first question is, what are you so sure in yourself, like your beliefs? No? The so sure factor. We are so sure about simple things, but so sure. I am so sure about being a doctor. I know everything about that medicine. I'm so sure about no health. I'm so sure about cooking. Whichever you're so sure, the understanding that you have with life, the reality itself. There's certain things you're so sure. If somebody comes and tells you also, you don't even get confused. You're so sure about taking care of no some guest, event manager. You're very good at it. No, most often not. We are very good at it. Is what we are so sure. What is the so sure in yourself? Because once you understand how you built that space, you will understand how the children are going to build the same space for themselves. So, what are you so sure you believe in yourself? The second question is, what are the responsibility you have taken to make sure? What are the responsibility you have taken? Yeah, I think some of you are writing still the first question. The second question. First question is, what are you so sure in yourself? The second question, what are the responsibility you have taken to make sure your child is authentic? Know the peak possibility in him. How is he expressing, and what is the responsibility you have taken? Like some moms are very particular about children studying. Some people are very particular about them being very clean. So some space we hold for them, right? What is the responsibility that you have taken to make sure your child is authentic in that space? So the third question goes, in what way your child is expressing authenticity? You know your child is also expressing authenticity. In what way he is expressing? What is he so sure and confident, and what drives his life? Yeah, don't say cars for boys. I know that's a fantasy that they build and they see the world, all the kids, other kids having cars and all. So they start picking up that. But there's something unique about each child. It's such a beautiful space. Like it's unique about each flower, no? The rose has some beautiful design. The sunflower has the brightness. Like that, each child has a space which is very authentic. I know my child never lies. I know my child is no go-getter. I know my child is always very compassionate with his parents. Some authentic expression which leads to, which only you, when you think of it, it's like a completion. You get amazed by that space of the child. So what is that expression in your child? So the first question is, what are you so sure in yourself? No, something you're very good. And second is, what are the responsibility you've taken to make sure your child is authentic? The third question is, what way your child is expressing authenticity? So these three questions, while you write, we'll get the video up. So you can watch the video in a few minutes. I think it's played in the YouTube, but now they're trying to get to play. Thank you. We can take 15 minutes break. You can get your tea, coffee, or some snacks or whatever you want to have also. And we can finish with these questions. And then we'll be ready with the video to play. Do you have a mic? Nithyanandam? Yes, ma, you're able to speak up? Pa, we are unmuting the video, just few minutes, so that you can speak and we can listen to your answers and your questions that you have, that you can share with everybody. Hold on a minute, ma. We're just unmuting the whole thing. Thank you. Hyderabad, Gupta Kasima, can you talk online? I'm getting a call, but are you able to talk online? I just want to check. I can hear you, Ma. Just talk. Great. I'll just be repeating what you say so that others also understand. Yes, Ma. Just go a little slow, that's all. Great. Greatest possibility you have. She believes in the Guru. That's what she shared. So that is the highest possibility anybody can hold. Yes, ma. Continue, ma. Yes, ma. Ah, yes, ma. Please continue, ma. Ah, we can hear you, ma. Just go ahead. Great, ma'am. The second one, ma. Second question, responsibility you have taken to make sure your child is authentic. You want a teacher? Oh, wow. Great, ma'am. By seeing you, she is going to start doing that. Even though she doesn't understand. See, when children are groomed into any particular thing, when, for example, if you're a singer and the child is learning to sing, whether you say it or not, just by your intensity, the passion that you hold, the children will start picking up. And seeing the influence that you have with respect to that context, the children will pick up in the next dimension because it is set in her consciousness very early in her life. So it will be very extraordinary when she holds the space when she grows up. So if you can hold the ultimate space, the Guru, the ultimate space for as a possibility for you and your child, that's the best authentic space you can hold for the child, ma. Because that's like holding a ladder. The minute you have the ladder, you can place it anywhere and climb anywhere, right? So the holding the space of a guru is the best space a child can have, because that is exactly what my parents did for Madhvait. When I was very small, my parents all the time used to talk to me about Ramana Maharishi and how a guru influences your life. So the only thing which made me understand in life was, get connected to a guru, the higher intelligence, and then he will take care of you to the next level of possibility. So that became a very, very strong impact in my life. When I was small, just like you, my mother did that. So it's the most best experience that a child could have. Yes, ma, go ahead, ma. Please go ahead, ma. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, ma'am. Please go ahead, ma'am. Cut. Ah, yes, ma'am. Now you're back, ma'am. It's a beautiful sharing, ma. Amazing sharing. I'll just repeat it for everybody else also. So this child, 9 years old, she had some surgery and she was in general anesthesia. And the mom had taken no Guru Puja to the being and authenticity of the child as a main thing. So she took the child out of the hospital and she drove the child back and made sure the next day, even after the surgery, she attended and she did the puja the next day, in spite of all the odds she faced. Usually it will be the child who drives the mom, but here the mom drives the child. It's a wonderful experience, and it's I wouldn't say anything different, because when it comes to Guru, everything is perfect. That's the basic thing, because when it comes to higher intelligence, when God Himself comes down and no really is there for us, it's the most wonderful experience that anybody could go through, is connecting to Him. It's like the cell phone has to be charged, whether you're in hospital, whether you're in a home or a clinic or anywhere. Unless you charge your cell phone, it is not going to work, however expensive your cell phone might be. But if it's not charged, it is useless. Unless we connect to our Guru, the higher consciousness, every day, we are not going to be holding that space, whatever we are calling authenticity, integrity. All that works, all that science works. Only the first thing, the connection happens. So the first connection which is required to charge the battery of the cell phone, then only you can start calling or doing anything. Like that, the Guru Puja is such a wonderful experience. And they also say how these other religion also, they sit in one place and connect to the highest possibility, the God. The whole brain chemistry starts changing, the whole space, the no the crimes that in that area comes down. So the meditation or the Guru Puja that is there in that space really brings down so many negative possibility. So the highest possibility could be you connecting to the Guru. So that is a wonderful experience and wonderful space you're creating for your child. Thanks, Ma. Excellent sharing. You hold this space and everything will happen in this space. It's like instead of saying, I want my child to be a mechanic, engineer, an architect, or a doctor, you're just saying, my child is going to be excellent in anything he picks up. So whatever profession he's going to take, he's going to be excellent because the context you're setting is very high. Like that, if you're setting the context as guru, the basic thing that we need to, it's like this. A lamp can be lit by only another lamp. Like fire can be lit by another fire. You cannot just, no, somewhere the fire has to happen. So the fire happens in the matchsticks and then the other things get the fire. Similarly, Guru is our fire that we have, the soul energy. Otherwise, we are just a body, right? The soul energy that we have has to be bought, the enlightened science has to be got from a Guru, the science that we understand. So a Guru is everything for us. And we are all so lucky that we are able to see him in the human form, talk to him, interact with them, be with him. Such a wonderful experience that now it's become a possibility for us. Giving that space is ultimate space, that I would say. I never thought she's going to share this, but that's the ultimate gift you can give your child, Ma. Thank you, Nithyanandam. Yes, Bangalore would like to share, Ma. Bangalore Center. You want to go ahead with the third question? Yes, Ma. Yes, ma'am. Great. That is a context you have set. Any context you hold for your child, Ma. See, by going through the questions with you, everybody, there's like 50 other centers who are also writing the answers. So, the context that you center, you are so sure, your child will be double so sure. So any context, if you think ice cream is going to get a cold for you, your child will have very sure the minute he sees the ice cream, he'll catch a cold. So any component, good or bad, any context that you hold so sure, like you are very stubborn about that, the child is going to go next level of that. Obviously, they hold a beautiful space. Thank you, Ma. Thank you for sharing. Now we'll move to Paris. They have a question. The first question is, how to help a child who has difficulty to talk at 4 years old? He doesn't go to school because her mum doesn't work right now. Okay. Difficulty to talk. So the whole thing that they are facing is having a 4-year-old child who has difficulty. First thing, Ma, the physical component, I don't know about the child. The pediatrician will be able to help. Is it some difficulty that the child is going through, or it's just the space the child holds and it's not having difficulty to speak, communicate and all that. If you see children, especially if he's a boy, they don't know verbalizing the words. For example, what happened in the school? It happened in the school, how can I tell you here? Because the child learns in the context. Like I'm sitting here, I have the screen, I have the video, everything, right? I learn as a whole. The same me put in some other space will not be having the same setup. The brain doesn't understand the new setup. That's why a lot of kids who learn at the school cannot repeat it at home. What happened, they don't know. But giving them practice every day, asking them what happened, Ma, at school, what did the teacher say, slowly we can bring them to the listening and speaking what is happening. So child has a difficulty with respect to words, but a space. Same child will go to school and repeat everything. Because in that context, they are different. Same way, the children having difficulty, I don't know what exactly the difficulties here is. So if they are talking little late, nothing, not a problem. If they are not talking, then we have to have a pediatrician help us through the whole thing. So this question is not full, so I'm not able to give a exact answer. But if pediatrician has said normal and the child has difficulty in talking, nothing wrong, slowly and slowly they will pick up. And it takes about 7 years for all this verbalization to happen fully, and understanding, cognizing and communication to happen. So you can give little more time for the child, and slowly they will be able to develop. The second question, how to help a child who was attacked by a group of children at his school. Two of them asked him his mobile phone. He did answer no, and they hit him on the face. So this is a violence. First thing, the violence, we have to be very careful which school we are choosing, and violence, especially bullying and all that, we have to report to the main authority of the school, because that is the safety of the children itself. So the very important thing is, first thing is physical safety. The second thing is, the child needs to be told, see, they should not go into the powerlessness of this, and they have to understand how to handle the situation. Maybe they should have given the mobile phone and gone to the authority and then complained and got the whole thing done. Immediately they should take the help of adult as quickly as possible. So we can teach the right understanding, the strategy thinking for the child. But these are cases where the school has to be very responsible in making sure the safety is given for every child. That's why if you see in Gurukul, our Gurukul, completely the bigger children, the elder children takes responsibility, not just, no, don't hit them, but completely take responsibility of taking care of the small kids. That's amazing, no? 360 degrees different from what happens in the outer world, because they understand by taking care of these children is a spiritual practice, and they start understanding different mindsets, and their brain starts working in different angle. They are going to become more intelligent. When the bigger kids take care of the smaller kids, lots of things happen in them. They start understanding the world much better. The maturity happens, the clarity, the strategy, everything happens. So in this case, I would say first they should go to the adult, wherever the closest adult they could find, and they should take care of them, because physical abuse or bullying and all that is very dangerous, and we have to immediately report to the authority of the school. Next question, I would like to take it from Bangalore Center. Anybody would like to go on the Bangalore? Smarnama, do you have any phone? Yes, ma. Ramani ma, please go ahead. Yes, ma, please go ahead, ma. Ma, we are a little more louder. Can you increase the volume and share, ma? We are not able to hear you very clearly. The first question you want to share. Suman, please go ahead, ma. Nityanandam, yes, ma'am. Yeah, Sloka is a beautiful kid. She was in engineers program. I'll just explain about the engineers program. Before that, I'll just go over the detail. Since you're very good in profession and you are meticulous about your profession, and you want to bring the same thing in your child. See, that so sure factor of yours, the what you believe in you, is what you give your child the maximum, the most. So when you are so sure about something, you would surely share that component in whatever she is doing in the routine that she has. Like the work that you have, she has her routine and you want to bring that. But it should not be a pressure for her. It should be little playful. That way she'll be enjoying the whole thing and she'll learn that meticulous way of doing things. No, one everything correctly doing it in precise way as the big possibility that she can. Okay, we are not going to force her to become perfect. The perfection is something which is like, no, it's too societal, it's not authentic, not trying to be perfect. But this authenticity which is expressing as perfection, as a peak possibility, is the perfection which is always beautiful, which is the expression, not trying to take the compassion and sincerity within you in whatever you're doing. That is the authenticity to the peak possibility. You're passionate about it and you're so excited about it and you just want to do it. No, that is the perfection I'm talking about. And that perfection in the child, if they're learning very young, wonderful, they're going to achieve lot more higher in their work, in their life, and they'll be very, and see, it's, nothing in their life will be chaos. They'll have a clarity in their life, how to align their things, how to align their life, how to align the thinking or in their life. Everything will get aligned and will have a clarity. That's a beautiful thing, ma, that you're sharing with your child. And the last thing that you said, the compassionate component of she's very authentic. So you can build it with that. Whatever she's doing, you can really tell her how this helps in connecting other beings in life. So life, whenever she lives for others, is what life is all about. No, it's like a birthday party. When you are alone and doing a birthday party, you are not enjoying. But you have more and more friends and they're so happy to be in your birthday party, you are more happy because they are happy. So it's life is like a birthday party. So more people you're able to connect, and in sharing the compassion that you have with them and them receiving that, that is whole life. So that authenticity is an excellent space, ma. Very nice sharing. Thank you, ma. Nityanandam, anybody else want to go? Singapore want to go? Yes, ma. Please go ahead, ma. Nityanandam. Yes.
Sharing about the first question.
Yes, I really want to know. This is a new kid in Gurukul. Go ahead.
Thank you, ma. Thanks for giving that. I'm sure about working with possibility. I want to do well in whatever I do.
Great.
Sure about my sincere to help others. In answer to second question, I myself try to behave authentically in my peak possibility and try to live in complete awareness so that it picks up that when we behave in awareness, we are able to pay attention to the details.
Great.
So the way I see it in him, the way he expresses, he's very authentic about enjoying life.
Correct, very correct. Wonderful, Leia. If you all can see, the three question is actually not three question, but one question by itself. The first question leads to the second leads to the third. Who you are reflects in your child even more strongly, and then it expresses through your child as a authentic behavior. The three question can be put in one line like that. The first question you answer that you want to be a possibility and you want to be authentic and you want to live it authentically with your child, showing them how the possibility is, and we see your child exactly like that. Anything is a possibility and a yes for him in life. He's amazing, always with a smile and saying yes. I know how difficult some of the things are for him, and still he says, yes, Madhvit, I will do it. Life is a big yes, and he's going to be a great leader because life is a beautiful yes for him. There is no no's. I've never seen him no. I know he doesn't like a lot of things and doesn't want a lot of things, but he still comes with a big smile and says, yes, Madhvit. So that is going to drive him, and you have given the beautiful gift. All these are beautiful gifts which you hold very close to your heart, which is what you see in your child happening. So these three questions actually so beautiful. No, the treasure you hold in your heart, which is what you're sharing, and that's what you see happening in your child. Yes, ma'am. Anybody else want to go
Yes,
through?
ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So through all these questions, we are reiterating again and again how authenticity is there in us and how we are expressing. Because most often not, we forget how authentic we are. But because so many things we are not authentic and we make mess up and mistakes and all that, we start becoming powerless. So more and more we express and take responsibility to become like one authentic area. If we take this to all the actions that we do, we are going to be the ultimate space. We are just talking about the one dimension of us. So we can take it to all the things we do. We are going to be in extraordinary space. Yes, ma. Go ahead, ma. Yeah. Ma Durga, go ahead. Okay. I think the next center. Want to share?
First question is, what am I so sure about? I'm so sure about my son will be a person. That's the first one. And for myself,
Nityananda, what is the second answer, ma? You share? responsibility that you take in the child?
I will support him and guide him towards what he wants to do and let him explore whatever that at that time he show interest. So
Got it, ma.
that's how I'm looking at it.
Yes, ma. That's what I want to clarify, because just who he is, if you take responsibility, it will not be very clear. But in the same sense, if you define to particular actions, the routine and the actions that he does every day, who he is expressing in everything what he is doing in action, will make it more tangible and will make him more understanding what authenticity is. Him being who he is wonderful, because the whole world is only hypocrite. No, we are not who we are. That's why we are not authentic. The whole authenticity is just expression of who we are. So the whole understanding, if you can give in every routine, every action he does, that will be most beautiful. That's what happens in Gurukul. Each and every child is created in an environment where he has to be himself. Even if he makes a mistake, it's perfectly fine. Make an authentic mistake. Make sure you don't repeat it. You learn from it. Every mistake we learn. A child falls 10 times before it walks 2 steps. That's how it starts. So it's not a wrong thing to make mistakes, but what learning happens and what we are building the knowledge through the whole process, holding the authenticity. Just because I'm falling, I just make a not start holding things and walking. I'll never learn to walk by myself. That's why these walkers are not good for children. Like that, in life, if everybody is covering up for their mistakes and feeling insecure, powerless, and covering up more, we become inauthentic. Just expressing who we are in every action is the peak possibility. Wonderful, ma. Wonderful. Thanks for sharing. If anybody has any questions also, they can mail us, call us, or raise those questions also. Day-to-day issues that they have with the children, we can discuss that also before going into the other details. One more thing Madhvait would like to share, that one of them had asked about the engineers program. So this is a 21-day program for children. Children especially of all categories, whether they are special kids, autistic, whether they are they have some physical problem, sickness, or they are wonderful children, being a topper in the school. This program is for everybody, because this program, the main component where they meet Swamiji, where he gives the initiation for the children, and the whole brain chemistry is taken into the next level of consciousness. The intelligence open in all part of the brain, the 21-day initiation that they get from Swamiji, and the morning satsang where he tells the beautiful clarity that he sets the context for the children is ultimate. The space of a child is flowered into the maximum possibility. Like for example, we see somebody that they're able to fly, and they teach us also how to fly. Fly for us, it's a flying an aeroplane. So when that possibility is given, we are going to feel so excited. We look forward for flying an aeroplane, right? It's like that when the children meet Swamiji. They are in extraordinary space, and the questions they come and ask is extraordinary. We won't even think of those things. They come and ask about all kind of mystical signs to Swamiji. How can I fly? How can this happen? How do I understand? See a globe in the mouth, like Krishna opens a mouth. They see a globe inside his mouth. So Swamiji, can I see the globe in your mouth? The questions they ask as the highest possibility. If they can think like that, which part of the brain is opened? I don't understand. We can think only a back pain or a neck pain or a spouse issue or a wealth issue or something like that. But where they are, their context itself is some other dimension, I could say. So the way they connect with Swamiji is ultimate space. So 21 days reiterating the highest possibility. It's like taking off the flight. They're getting the license to fly, basically. So 21 days giving the possibility in the children itself brings them in a physical way of putting them aligning to the highest possibility that they can be. In future, they're going to be extraordinary space which is going to be created for children. So this is the rewiring of the brain which happens in this 21 days. It's like a vaccine. Now we give physical vaccine for children against all their disease and all that. This is a mental vaccine that every child need to have, so that their thinking is aligned to the highest possibility. Their thinking happens in a way that they don't have to struggle like us. The struggle that we go through with our health, our wealth, our spouse, our job, all this is just erased in just 21 days. They are given the best possibility of life to take the right path, right decision and right thinking. When a child has the right thinking and right decision, he is a successful leader. It just takes the right thinking and right decision. You're a leader. In everything you do, you're always right and you're always beautiful and correct, and you don't struggle in your life. If that context is set in your brain at a very young age, you will not go through so much of struggle. But that vaccination, which I call the strategy thinking plus the decision making, is given to you as a capsule in your brain and in 21 days when you are young, is the vaccination called Ingenious Program. So when your child gets this understanding at a very young age, we go to the doctor and they do the chickenpox vaccine and they go once or twice. So the more the children come back actually every year like a vaccine and get this vaccine, their consciousness comes as a clarity. What is the clarity? The thinking plus the decision. If this clarity is given as a vaccine to you, you will be the extraordinary person. In everything you do, everybody will be saying, wow, what a thinking, what a decision. So that's all we need, but we don't have that because of the incompletions that we did not get it when we were small. So giving this priceless gift to your child is the amazing possibility you're opening up. And then what happens? Apart from that, we have lots of games, lots of art and meditation, which opens the non-mechanical part of the brain. So it's not the regular art, it's lots of fun because not the regular way of doing things. They have an extraordinary way of doing things. So the expression is completely different and it's a very creative process. So by 21 days, we open their creative side of the brain, the non-mechanical part of the brain, which helps them in life to think more creative and more fun rather than suffering and impossibilities that they are told every day in the school. At least if they go to school for 365 days, 20 days, they should be in this program to understand what life could offer. Because constantly we meet people of impossibility. Suddenly they come to this program and they see, wow, everything is a possibility. They can do certain things which they never thought they can do. And they start understanding a lot of possibilities which they thought is impossible. So giving them the confidence. See, confidence makes you more and more possibility happening. So that confidence that they gain in this 21 day becomes a reality in them. And every parent who has gone through, the child has gone through this program, the parent has only seen an expansion in the child, in understanding, in clarity, in thinking, behavior and talent and health. Even autistic kids, even special kids can attend this program. And the process, because it's higher consciousness and they relate to Swamiji in a complete different way. So it's a beautiful space that Swamiji has created for 21 days for the children. So if you have any more questions, you can contact your coordinator who gave you the detail about this parenting, or you can always write to N Education, EN Education at nithyananda.org. You can write to us with all the details. So we can give you the whole whole detail about this program. You can have the question answer, where, what, how it is done, all the details we can share with you. And we can share with you all the videos and testimonials from most of the parents which we have recorded. And I want to say this because one of the parents had asked about the engineers program, which is a 21-day program. Swamiji himself initiates the children into higher consciousness. That is the whole essence of this program. Thank you, Ma. Any other center want to have any other question? You can go ahead. Even for parenting, if you have any questions, you can always mail to the same ID in education. If you have a struggle with your kid, don't bother, just give a call or just mail us. We'll be there at any time to help you. So don't bother, this time is not the right time, this is not the right thing. Just mail us and you'll be helped. Especially the teen moms. How to make your teen understand a lot of things, which is a struggle day in and day out. Yes, ma. Anybody else want to go over? Because before I do the conclusion session, I want to know if anybody had a question, so we can share that and then go with the next part. Nithyananda ma, Sarva Bhaktini ma, please go ahead ma. Little more louder, Ayya. You're saying through stories he listens to you, yeah? Or he listens to the story and does the opposite? Just want to get a clarity. So make your story more of action oriented. See, if he understands story, that's a wonderful way to express himself. So, lot of kids understand a lot of things. It's a beautiful memory technique by itself. See, we visualize everything as a happening in our life. That's how we remember our life. So, if he is able to do as a memory, that's wonderful. How old is your child there?
9 years old.
Wonderful, wonderful, yeah. So the whole thing is he understands the complete context. If he wants to just fool around with you, that's a different thing. He wants to play with you, but that is the freedom we need to give the children. But you can explain to him if he understands through stories. Give him an active story, really participate. Now the 3 bears are going to bed. Really go to bed and put him to sleep. Now if he's saying I don't want to go to bed, then I cannot continue the story. I'm stuck. let's go to the bed. Only then I can understand. But the bear finished eating before going to the bed. So we have to first eat. So bring that action into the story so that it becomes reality for him. Now he'll think, oh my God, my dad became very smart now. He's making me do to explain the story. So he likes the story, let him live through the story, but put the whole story into action. He just wants to enjoy. He's not having any intention not to listen to you, but he just wants to be playful. That's the beauty about the child. Wherever they are very playful and naughty, right? So that is not wrong. So take him through the story as in action. Then you see he has to listen, because he need to know what is the next phase of the story. Finally, put him to bed and finish the story. Okay, yeah? And you having a strength as your so-sure factor is wonderful. That is why his overconfidence is making you all run around the house like this. So that is good thing to have. He'll enjoy life a lot more. So that's a wonderful thing, yeah. Nithyanandam. Yes, ma'am. Anybody else want to share? A few more minutes we have before the closing session. Ramani ma'am, Dr. Shanti, Bangalore. Are you able to hear me, ma? Ramani ma'am? Subeda ma'am? New Zealand? Deva Vedanta ma'am? Yes, go ahead, ma. Thank you. We are getting a question in a mail, so we'll go ahead with that. My son shows a lot of stubbornness in almost everything. Beautiful. From waking up to going to brush his teeth, eating, changing, doing his homework, almost in everything, till going to bed. Trying to make him to do seems so impossible. He just sits around and refuses to do anything, and he needs to literally carry him around the house to make things happen. Then we end up getting angry, losing the temper, cries, gets upset, and end up in feeling tortured. So no matter how much we talk to him and explain to him, he must take responsibility to do things and doing their daily activities without so much of resistance. He says, okay, but goes back to doing the same thing. He's 4 years old. 4-year kid, obviously in the same space. See, he doesn't have the memory as a past. That is the beauty about the children. Why they are so beautiful in the space of Advaita, the completeness they are, is because they don't have a past incompletion. So even though what you're saying is torture and crying and forcing and stubborn and all that, it's just that he wants to hold his space. That's all about it. So there is nothing wrong with that. As I said, align it to right understanding, making him understand whatever he is doing, is it making him complete? Rather than holding it to make him do brush his teeth, asking him what happens and giving the stock reality and telling him what it is going to happen when he follows all this and how enjoyable it's going to be. If you can answer the first 3 questions that we discussed, I can give you more understanding how you can hold the space to the highest possibility, and that will help your child into more and more completion. Instead of fighting with him, you have ask him how happy he is. Okay, if he's not going to brush his teeth, okay, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, what happens to his teeth? If he's not going to eat, what happens to the whole stomach? So make him understand the stock reality, what happens, and hold the space of, is it making him happy? Is this what he wants? What is that he wants? How he understands life. When you understand that context, as a 4-year-old, they don't have much specific to no trying to be negative, that they don't want to do something. They're just in the space of, no, let's do what we want to do. That's all. Stubbornness aligned to the highest possibility. And then you see the changes. They will be really awesome. They'll be really, really doing things much different. Change your context and see your child's context completely different. First visualize him. He's after all 4-year-old boy trying to be naughty, and by birth all kids are stubborn. Now we have to set the context for him. Okay, he is a possibility context. I am setting him as, make them understand and let them make the decision. Even though they are struggling with 1 or 2 days, it's okay. They will eventually come to what you want to do. Otherwise it will be a struggle every day for life. If you let them to take responsibility, all this will be solved. And the kids are responsible. They know what is the stock reality, what is the reality they want to be, and what makes them happy. So make them understand that what is that they need to do. So it becomes more actively participating, and also get him to do lot more active play. Like for example, he plays with his friends. If he does all this, he can go faster and play. Make a logical conclusion to what he is doing. Then he'll simply do it fast and run to play. So when he wants, he will do that. So make it a want in him. That's all. He'll be amazing throughout the process. Instead of forcing him and struggling and fighting, at the end of the whole thing, it becomes a torture for us more than the him. Yes, ma? I have one more question from Ma Ramni. I'm just going to scan it. Hong Kong want to share. She started from Hong Kong. They want to share, ma. Yes, ma, go ahead. Hong Kong, you wanted to share is what the message I got. Camus is there. Yes, ma. I can't hear you. Just hold on a minute.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma. Go ahead, ma.
Yes, ma. Go ahead.
Great, ma. You first one is you like to hold the higher consciousness and expand in her. Is that right? Nityanandam? Yes, great, ma. It's a highest possibility. Has she attended any program, ma?
Has she attended?
That'll be wonderful, because if you have groomed her already into taking the best from life, and then those kids are presented to the highest possibility in front of them, what would they do? Just go and grab it for their life. No, they'll be so happy. Wow, I can do this in my life. No, kids always look for the best. The adults always look for reasons. Like that, kids always look for best. So if you can bring her, that will be the amazing shift in her consciousness to the highest dimension. Wonderful, ma'am. Greatest gift that you can share with her. Wonderful, ma. Nithyananda, ma. Any questions you have? Great, Madhkamas. Thank you so much. And we want to go over the last session. If you have any more questions, there's some more questions, but you can send us a mail. We'll send you a reply on all the questions. If you want to share what you have written also, please send me as a mail. That will be wonderful sharing. And the last part of the whole thing, whatever happens, however stubborn your child is and however tantrum they're throwing and how sure you are, you understood that whichever authentic space, you can align them to that space. And if you align them to every action they are holding, if they are able to do that as a peak possibility, they will, it's like a movie just happening. You just change channel and some movie is happening. Like that, a child is a happening. It's like a movie in front of you. They don't have a hidden agenda. They don't good or bad, they don't know right now. They think this is the right possibility and they take. They see the suffering, they start live the suffering. They see the anger, they start getting angry. They see as a possibility, then they start seeing that as their lifestyle. So whichever they see in front of them and whichever is authentic, even good, even bad, both, they take it and they start behaving like that. They don't have a hidden agenda and they're ready to drop. When you give them the right understanding that this is not going to help them achieve the highest possibility. So if that is the whole thing, if the whole thing is about their highest possibility, them being happy, them being beautiful, then they are going to align to that. Only thing, we have to be responsible in aligning them to the highest peak possibility. If we align them to the highest peak possibility in every action, the day-to-day routines, then slowly, not out of pressure, but holding the context of being happy, being satisfied, being fulfilled, is that what they want? Exactly, they want that only. A child always wants to be happy, that they are very sure. So not like hurdles. No, we want suffering and we want reasons as lifestyle. But a child always wants happiness and blissfulness as a lifestyle. So giving them as that as a context, they will start building on the context rather than identity. Identity can be anything, but the context have to be very clear. If that is clear, the thinking will be aligned, the decision will be aligned, they will be aligned to becoming a successful leader. They will know what is it makes them a leader, and they'll be able to replicate their action in everything. That is the pure completion. Every day talk to them. What did they do? How did they think through the whole thing? Did they think through thinking about aligning to the highest possibility of completion, or are they thinking through as vested interest? No fear or greed. No, I got very scared, that's why I did like this. Then ask them to complete whether that fear is going to make them achieve anything in life. No, fear is not going to bring them success. Fear is not going to make them happy. Fear is not going to complete them. So why hold that fear? Just complete with the fear. Next time, take an authentic space and do the same thing. Don't have to feel fear or scared or bullied or anything inside. Just do it as it is. Just try to take a piece of sweet and try to eat it, right? It's wow. Just try it out. Don't have any ideas attached to it like an adult. Then you will be complete. So talk to them like this and make them understand and make get their thinking style and complete with their thinking style. If we complete with their thinking strategies, then they will align to the perfect context. Be stubborn about being authentic. Be stubborn about being integrated. Be stubborn about taking responsibility for that. So that is what a stubbornness is about. So align them to right stubbornness, instead of them being stubborn about not eating, not doing the homework, running around and beating themselves, and finally they are depressed and makes them upset because they are not wanting to do what they are doing, and then they do something and they obviously feel wrong about it, and they are more incomplete, which leads them to more incompletion. So for the genius in them to happen, come out, the talent, the hidden agenda inside them to come out in the presence, in the reality, they have to align to the authenticity they are. The context has to be set very clearly. Then they are an extraordinary being. They are extraordinary in whatever they are doing. Whether it is a small brushing teeth or doing an artwork or a big competition, if we practice it in day-to-day things, if we practice every day, every action that we do, whether it is small or big, doesn't matter. Are we in completion? Are we doing the perfect? Are we doing with the quality? And are we satisfied about how we are presenting it? If that is taken care in the small things they do, it will start replicating perfection in whatever they do. So when they pick up a talent and they want to perform, that day this will be the weapon that they can use. That is the authentic space, the clarity, the amount of understanding they will have with what they want to do is the authentic space. So if they're going to be a tennis player and they're going to play tennis, now they're going to play more clear, more understanding what the other person is doing, what the whole setup is, how they need to function. With a strategy and thinking and clarity, the whole playing will become to a next level. So anything they pick up will become more efficient, more success will be happening. The success happens when we are completely authentic to our own space. The success is more successful when we understand and start repeating the same space. The context that we hold is beautiful. The context, if I hold, that I want to be complete in everything I do. So that's what will happen in tennis playing, or whether I'm cooking or I'm doing my homework. So the whole context that you need to hold in this completion process is a very important thing that as a parent you have to make them understand. If they align to that again and again, they're going to be successful in everything. They're not going to get into confusion, chaos, disease, misfortune. All that negative things doesn't happen to them because they are very complete. Their context is important than their identity. The vested interest, the greed, the fear makes the identity as a pattern and destroys us. But they are going to be clear with the context they are. I'm going to be feeling complete, the right context. And I'm going to be very stubborn about being happy, and I'm going to be stubborn on being complete. So what happens in anything I do, I'll be authentic. Then only I feel complete. So I start aligning to that. So that is the space I want to be. So this is what you share in the completion. Every day completing with your child is very important. Especially children, like little flowers, small bugs come on it, right? And we just brush away all the small bugs. So it's the same thing what we do for the children also. The small incompletion which comes, somebody hit me, somebody bullied me, somebody teased me, somebody pulled my food, and they are so inauthentic, doesn't matter what space they are holding. What did you do so that this doesn't happen to another child? What did you do for you to express completion and compassion to even the child who's doing that, so that he doesn't do anything? Bringing the other child also to this context. So bringing them to the higher consciousness, the higher possibility they can be. It's just the context. If they have fear, then all these things start happening into them. if they handle all this with powerfulness inside them, the whole context will change. Next time they will not beat up. Oh, this boy, if I beat up, he'll go complain to the principal, then put me into trouble. I will not hurt him. We'll go to the boys who are keeping quiet. They know, the people who hit also know very clearly which boy just takes it and cries, and which boy is very powerful, we should not touch. So you make him understand the context that he needs to hold, so that it makes a right thinking and best decision to happen through him. So that happens, the more and more he becomes successful and becomes a solution to every possibility. More and more we are able to align, we become a solution to every problem that happens. So the space is very beautiful. So make sure every day you complete. And every day you sit with your son and daughter and start talking to him. If he doesn't have anything to share, you share. So let that also not be a pressure. Just help him understand and just talk to him. See how I completed, how I messed up, and how I am going through. Will also complete him. He'll start thinking, oh, completion is so important. We have to live in a completion space. So anything that he wants to, don't go to the sleeping time and fight with him why he is not sharing anything. That is not completion. Let him be who he is and let him express what he wants. But from that space, we will start completing. And slowly he'll be able to tell you, trust you, and give you all the information. That way it becomes an authentic space. Making him authentic who he is, expressing as he is authenticity. Because you will only express your peak possibility then. Because you know what you're capable of and you want to express yourself. Trying to be somebody else, imitating and picking up things and being inauthentic, where puts you into incompletion. So complete with the right context with them. So that way they will be aligning to the highest possibility. Saying that, I want to give you one more detail about the other programs that we have that are coming up. We have lots of memory program where we teach the 4 tattvas and also the memory techniques, which is directly helpful for the schools. So you have anything, any detail that you want, you can contact your organizer. Again, you can mail to neducation@nithyananda.org. You can always, it's a 1-day program, 2-day program, depends on the different centers which is conducting at your centers. All your centers will be conducting this program, and it will be an online class also. So you can bring your children as a memory techniques, nice fun techniques where they learn a lot of tricks. So kids love tricks and they love to implement than regular things. So they will love this session a lot. So if your child wants to come, they can come for the memory program also. And he can enjoy understanding what is authenticity, what is integrity. So it makes your life little more easy. And the other part is the Nithyananda Bala Vidyalaya, which is something which we do continuous education for children who have done engineers, especially if they can be enrolled into Nithyananda Bala Vidyalaya at the closest center or online classes. Again, every week we discuss like this. Every week we sit down and go through everything and bringing them to the higher education. It's a science of enlightenment education given by Swamiji. So we are sharing it with the world. All these programs are free. So you can contact your center, the memory program, the Nithyananda Bala Vidyalaya, which is education, continuous education, spiritual education for them to become successful leaders. So you can contact us anytime and you can get all the details. Again, about the program, I just want to reiterate because many have asked about Swamiji's program, 21-day program. The next program is happening in Haridwar, which is an amazing, beautiful space, which naturally itself, the space and the context which is set in Haridwar is enlightened space, where anybody, if they are an Indian, they'll know. They'll call, the first thing they say, "Ma, pray for me." So it's like a temple space where you just make a wish kind of thing. It's a beautiful space. Your children can also attend. We have other programs also coming up. And next parenting session also, you can get the details from the coordinators, and you can bring other parents also who are closely linked to you, who can understand. See, not only your child, you have to make the school understand, your child's friends' mom understand the signs, then your part of job is fully taken care. So you can bring, if you have a very difficult friend of your child, bring the mom to the class and then we can go over all the details. Then she'll get a click, oh my God, I have to take care of my child much more better way, so that no, he is feeling complete and he's no giving the completion to others. So you can bring your friend, or you want us to do in your school. We are ready to come to your school and conduct this program at free of cost for the children, to make them understand the authentic space. So whichever possibility that you want, please approach us. We have the greatest solution, and whoever has done this part, no, whoever has done this program have really benefited, and Swamiji wants to give the world the best science at a free cost. So please contact us. And the last but not the least, the Haridwar program, Engineer Swamiji's program, that has a small fee, but that happens during the period July 15th to August 4th. So the adults can attend the adults program. It's Inner Awakening, where parents get the completion process happen in a deepest conscious level. No, you have a lot of things are blind spot for us. For a child, it's not a blind spot, so it's easy to work and tell him to drop it and stand up for the authentic space. But for adults, it's a hidden agenda inside you which runs your life. So it's a program where that hidden component, the ghost in you, is removed. So you can live with peace, you can live in happiness, and you can enjoy the space. The glimpse of that is going to happen in the coming weeks as Nithyananda Dhyana NDY program. So that also the dates you can get from your centers and you can come, which is conducted by Swamiji himself. So we are going to have it in the weekend. So there is a program for the adults and lot of programs for the children. So you can ask your coordinator, because many are asking many questions. I'm just covering up because we have a very short time. It's all amazing program, and so many parents have benefited and the children have benefited extraordinary way, including autistic kid. This is the only solution I can say. The autistic, ADHD, ASD, all this kind of problems that we face in the world doesn't exist in a higher consciousness. All this is just an incompletion in different level, and certain things you need a master to complete from that level. We have seen cancer getting cured. We have seen the people who cannot walk for many years now are able to walk. And we have seen so many changes in people. We are like so shocked. Is this the same person we spoke last week? No, the kid will be a new introduction to you. I never thought my kid will be so nice. From 4 years to about 15 years, the kids attend these programs, especially teen, which goes through so much of incompletions nowadays because they don't know what to do. One leg in here, one leg in there, trying to be an adult. So they're so confused. So bring them to the program so that they don't land up in much more chaos and confusion in their life. If they don't have clarity now, they are going to get into more incompletion later on. So it's the best vaccination, best gift that you can give for a child is bringing him to the master himself to work on the child. So saying that, Advait want to end the program. If you have any question, please mail us to eneducation at nithyananda.org. And I hope all of you enjoyed the session. Sorry for the delay in starting the program and some video issues that we had, because this time we have a very large group. It's just exponentially now exploded into so many parents coming. We are very happy to have this problem. We will try any incompletion you have, please mail to us. We will get you connected and we will send you. Past 1.5 years we've been doing these programs. So in all that is now made as CDs. So we can share it with you. If you share the email address, we can share all these parenting session, anger in children, intelligence in children, how to communicate with the children, the space of a child, listening in children, how to improve the child into more intelligence and memory. All that is given to you at free of cost. So please again share your interest with the center head or send us a mail directly. We'll get in touch. And again I want to complete for all the initial delays that we had, and thank you so much. We'll end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Sadguru Paduka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you and bye everybody. Enjoy the space of a child. Thank you. Nithyanandam.